politics with the Strategic Petroleum Reserve. And you're absolutely right. We ought to pursue clawbacks where there was fraud in a lot of these programs, and we ought to do that before raising the debt limit. We ought to impose work requirements. So I'll invite you, Geraldo. You could take my guest pass and come observe a Congress that is quite different from the last Congress, if for no other reason than during the battle for the speakership, we demanded open rules, open amendments. Today we took votes on over 20 amendments, some by Democrats, some by Republicans, but certainly no one can defend Adam Schiff and Eric Swalwell. These are people who made careers leaking and then embroidering lies onto those very leaks. And Adam Schiff doesn't just go on TikTok to publish information. A real critique we have is that for 3 years, when Republicans wanted access to intelligence about the origins of the coronavirus, Adam Schiff was essentially the blocking tackle for the Chinese Communist Party and did not get that information out in front of the public. Now he's
Congressman, you sound a good game. What in the world were you and your 19 colleagues doing, torturing the speaker, your speaker designate, Kevin McCarthy? What,
Geraldo,
for your
it's
egos?
old news.
What was that for? What did you hope to attain in that?
So, first of all, I got some constituents in the military that could talk to you about real torture. I don't think sitting through 15 votes quite qualifies, but here's what we were fighting for. We believe that instead of having omnibus spending legislation that comes to us with only a few hours to consider thousands of pages and then vote on something that funds every agency of the government all at once, that we should take individual votes on appropriations bills. That's a concession we didn't have when voting began. It's one we earned by the time it ended. We also believe that when bills are considered, they should comport to a single subject, so I don't have to do what I've had to do in the past and vote on the farm bill at the same time you're voting on whether or not there's going to be war powers in Yemen. We also wanted open amendments so Republicans or Democrats could offer germane adjustments to legislation and everyone could take votes on these things. You know, members of Congress, speakers, they come and go, but when rules are established, they often can be enduring.
Congressman, with your filibuster right now, you are portraying yourself to the American people as a thoughtful legislator. And yet the publicity that you get characteristically, almost inevitably, is flamboyant. It's confrontational.
Hold on,
it has
Geraldo,
no
let me
step in here.
Geraldo, wait a minute. Geraldo,
let me interject if I can. You know what? This makes Geraldo look like a complete idiot. And you know what? I have to say that Geraldo is a complete idiot. And he's going to show you exactly how much he's a complete idiot in just a second here as we go on. Thank you, everybody, for joining me. My name is Will Johnson. UniteAmericaFirst.com is the website. UniteAmericaFirst.com. Listen to this, because Geraldo is going to he's going to be like, well, I thought, Sean, you wanted me to come on here to do this. See, this Geraldo know what he's doing is wrong. And he's actually even going to admit it. He's going to admit it. And this is the same thing for all liberals. They know what they're doing is wrong, but a lot of them, they won't even admit it. Listen to this. This is like remarkable. You can't make it up.
Make a substantive argument about changes to the process and you call me flamboyant and confrontational?
He answered your question. He answered your very specific question about what he was fighting for. My only argument, and Matt and I talked a lot in December. Matt, you can verify this is true. My only beef with everybody was I wanted everybody to be in full agreement by January 3rd. 4 days, it came, it went, and now everybody's on the same page. He gave you very specific arguments about what he was fighting for, how this Congress is different and better than the last one. Why are you attacking him personally?
Now, listen to Geraldo. Listen to what he says right here. Why are you attacking him personally? I mean, this dude, you know what? Geraldo, you know what? Just watch.
Well, I thought that's why you invited me, Sean. You wanted me to go nose to nose with your right-wing champion. I'm here. I showed up.
I don't even think
he can defend himself. He doesn't need me.
I don't know, Matt Gaetz. I mean, I don't know you. All I know is what I read in the newspapers. I appreciate
that's got to be true.
You are on a rehabilitative.
I mean, all I know is what I read in the newspapers. Really? All I know is what I read in the newspaper? That sounds, you know what? That's exactly what all liberals do. I only know what I read in newspapers, like the newspapers don't lie to you. like the newspapers are completely honest, like New York Times, right?
Hey, your career, I like it.
Well, I think that we'll have a better Congress moving forward because of these changes. Yeah, I wouldn't
last
believe
word,
everything.
Matt, you get the last word.
God bless.
Hey,
I wish you the best. I wish you the best.
Sometimes stagecraft
for example,
is statecraft.
Will the
Sometimes it's
Republicans
okay to
come
push these
together?
things tough.
Will Republicans come together on the debt ceiling, and will they stand strong at 222? Because Biden is betting against that. That's why he says no negotiation.
Well, if we pick the right fight, I was discouraged to see my colleague Don Bacon announce on Meet the Press that he believed that no cuts in entitlements could ever be acceptable to his wing of the Republican Party. I actually think we should have work requirements. If we imposed work requirements on SNAP and on Medicaid expansion for able-bodied adults, we would have the ability to save $1 trillion during the 10-year
end of the day, will Republicans unite?
3 children.
Will Republicans
are you going to have a
I think a mother with 3 children,
a mother
would
with 3 children at home make her work?
Yeah, and you know what? You can meet work requirements in a lot of these states.
You know what? A lot of these people can work from home with their kids. There's unlocked services right now where they can work from home. Isn't the government, Joe Biden, according to Joe Biden, they created X amount of jobs. Knowing good and well they didn't create any jobs, but they say that they create jobs. So I'm with Matt Gaetz. I've said that about welfare a long time ago, that people, treat welfare as a career movement. I'm telling you, they use it as a career move. Welfare, subsidies, government subsidies. I know I've had family members that did it, which is crazy in Arkansas. Crazy. I was a lot younger and I thought it was crazy then. But they use it. They should have to work instead of sitting on their butts all day, just collecting. Now, let me get on to this. I just wanted to come out with that and share that because it was just really explosive. Gerardo, I mean, come on. Sometimes Gerardo will say he'll start like seeing the light and he'll start coming. Then he just goes completely left again. That's the mindset of the left. They can't think past, 2 seconds ago. But listen to Karine Jean-Pierre. How many times have y'all went to the gas station? You'd be like, oh man, the gas station's low. Yay, 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 yay. Well, they want us to believe that the gas prices are down. I just went to the gas station today. And I'm like, my goodness, what happened? The last time I went to the gas station, it was like here in the state of Texas, it was like $3.12. It was $3.12. Last time I went to the gas station. Today I went to the gas station, it's $3.50. And it was just a couple of days ago, not too long ago, because I've been driving. What in the world happened? And then they want us to believe that the gas prices are going down.
Somewhat related to EVs, but gas prices. It could hit $4 in the next couple of months, the national average, according to a lot of the experts like Gas Buddy. How likely is it that the president taps into the Strategic Petroleum Reserve again this year to try to lower prices?
So Secretary Granholm, as you know, was here, I believe, on Monday, and she was asked this question. And so that is certainly something that's under her purview as well. And we don't have anything to share on that.
I mean, she doesn't have anything on anything. Nothing on nothing. But I bet you if you ask her about the alphabet people, she has a lot to say there. She has a lot to say. But when it comes to actual issues of the United States of America, the people in America, problems that we're all going through, she has nothing to say. When it comes to actual issues like the Hunter Biden laptop or Joe Biden has these docs, she has nothing to say. She refers everybody to everything else. Listen to this one.
What about refilling it, especially now that oil prices are climbing again, could get up to 110 a barrel? When do you see the timeline for refilling it?
So we had laid out the plan of how that was going to work. I don't have anything updated on that. I would refer you to the Department of Energy for any specifics.
See, again, I'm going to refer you to the Department of Energy for any specifics. What is the plan? To continue to deplete our reserves? Our national reserves? Is that the plan? I mean, seriously, that's what they've been saying. We want to deplete the national reserve. And then by them depleting the national reserves, guess what? They're saying that Biden brought the gas prices down because he's depleting our national reserves. Make it make sense. That's not bringing the gas prices down. That actually put a Band-Aid on a gaping hole, because right now the gas prices are going up. We still have issues with eggs. I went to that store today to buy some eggs. I need some eggs. I want some eggs. I don't need them. I can survive without them. But when there's not in the store, you really want eggs. Like, I'm craving eggs right now because I went to the store and it's like there's no eggs in there. Ridiculous. This, you know what? I'm telling y'all, what I mentioned, what was coming months ago, even over a year ago, is starting to come to fruition. I've always been clear about it, that I don't want this stuff happening. I don't want it to happen. But it's like a rolling ball going down the hill, and no one can stop it now because they've done too much damage. Now listen to this nut job, and he is a total nut job. Listen to what he says about Biden bringing the gas prices down. And of course, Biden did it because it was before the midterm election. He didn't want people driving to the polls and they have to stop and get gas. He didn't want that. So of course it's political. And he is going to say that he said it doesn't matter how Biden brought the gas prices down. Doesn't matter. As long as he bring them down, then why are they going up? How come they're not staying down? Is anyone questioning that? I bet you he didn't, because he doesn't care either. Listen to what this nut job says. And yes, he is a nut job.
So let me tell you what this is all about. I can summarize this debate of the last 2 days into one sentence. Joe Biden lowered your gas prices and Republicans are upset about it.
Really? So when President Trump was in office, I remember gas being around two something. It was around 250, around 250, 248 here in the state of Texas, not California, but here in the state of Texas, it was like 2 something. Ever since Biden has been there, it's been over $3. It's been over $3 ever since he's been there. And it's actually gone up to $4. And now it's at $3.50. Where did he bring it down? When he depleted our national reserves. And some of those national reserves he sent to China.
China.
That's what this is about. Joe Biden lowered your gas prices last year, and that makes Republicans mad. And how do we know? They said it out loud. The gentlewoman from Georgia earlier this morning just said that Joe Biden lowered your gas prices for political reasons. You know, I don't care why a president lowers your gas prices. If any president can lower your gas prices, we support that president's action.
So by depleting our national reserves, he's saying we should support that action. Well, what happens when we can't refill what we need? What happens if we go into full-on war, which it looks like every single day now that Putin has already put the threat out there, because Joe Biden is sending 31 tanks. Putin said this is a direct conflict of the United States of America. And we don't have the fuel now to fuel our military vehicles. The first responders, they depend on that fuel if we go into a crisis mode. Ambulance, fire trucks, police vehicles, they won't have it because they depleted it. And I've told people so many times, and so many people didn't want to hear me. So many people say, well, you're fear-mongering. And yet here it comes, and it's happening right now. And a lot of people still don't see the pressure. They still don't see the pain. It's like a lot of people don't even pay attention to it. And for me, it's mind-blowing that they don't. That's the most frustrating thing about all of this. It's really frustrating because I try to explain it to people what I'm seeing, and people still don't pay attention to it. And I'm like, how else do I explain it other than showing it to you? And then when I show it to people, they still don't get it. Let me show you this one. Here's another example. You know, Joe Biden and the Democrats, they want to pay off his student loans. And you know how they said that right before the midterm election. So the younger people will go to the polls thinking, oh, he's going to forgive my debt. He's going to forgive my debt. And then they turn around and blame Republicans because the kids' debts didn't get paid off by the federal government. You know why? It's not because of the Republicans. It's because it's unconstitutional. Joe Biden, the Democrats know this. Bernie Sanders, which is a total socialist, they all know this. It goes against the U.S. Constitution. But as I'm always saying, the Democrats do not care about the U.S. Constitution. They want to trash the U.S. Constitution.
Right now, over 40 million Americans eligible for debt relief are being denied that immediate relief today. Why? Because Republican officials and special interests hit us with lawsuits to block it. Folks, I know you're frustrated. I am as well.
And I am too. For millions of working and middle-class Americans who are under the burden of crushing loan debt, student debt relief would be life-changing. And guess what? Because of these Republican officials, not even one of the over 80,000 people from Delaware, where I know you're from, Joe, who applied for student debt relief or were eligible for automatic loan forgiveness have been able to get a dime of that relief.
The fact is that in Vermont, Bernie, it's over 50,000 borrowers.
You hear this? This is really crazy to me. And of course, they don't bring up the Constitution because, again, they hate the Constitution. They know it goes completely against the Constitution. The federal government cannot pay off your debt. They can't even pay off their own debt, let alone yours. You're an idiot if you think that they should pay off your debt. You agreed for that student loan. I took out a student loan before I went to school, and I had to pay it off. And it took me years to pay it off. And not a single time did I anticipate the federal government to pay off my debt. Not a single time. But that's exactly what they want. That's exactly what liberals think. Oh, my goodness, the government going to pay it off. And you notice Bernie Sanders in this video, and because this is a total socialist agenda. Has nothing to do with America, benefiting America. It's about controlling you. And once the government pays off anything for you, they own you. That's exactly what it comes down to. They want to own you. Joe Biden doesn't work for the American people. Joe Biden works for the WEF. He really does. He does not work for the American people. Not at all. Okay. Tonight's a little bit different. You know, a lot of times I would go on and on a little bit longer than tonight. But tonight there's some stuff that I want to share with you that is real sensitive. Can I say that? It's really sensitive. You know, maybe we'll talk a little bit about the Project Veritas. Maybe I might, and I plan on taking some of your phone calls. That's if you want to give me a call. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to have to, of course, I'm going to have to end it here, and I'm going to have to talk to you on Rumble. Mainly because of what I want to share with you. Because I can't share it here on Facebook or YouTube. I just can't. Because they'll penalize me. They most definitely. I've already said this multiple times. People know this. So for those of you that want to come and see the information I want to share with you over on Rumble, y'all come on over there. Okay. But before I go, let me say thank you to a couple people, because some people, they're not going to leave, Facebook. They're not going to leave YouTube. It's just the nature of the beast. I get it. I like Facebook. I like YouTube. That's the reason why I'm there. I just wish I could have free speech. I wish I could relay the information I want to relate to you without being attacked. It is what it is. Okay. But let me say thank you to a couple people before I go over there. People who have blessed me. Sherry, thank you so much for the stars. I really appreciate it. Henry, thank you so much for sharing. Jerry, Low Pro, thank you so much for the stars. Ray, Glenda, thank you for sharing. Linda, thank you for sharing. Nancy, thank you for sharing. Ashley, David, Leroy, Gary, thank you so much for sharing. Lee, thank you so much for sharing. Kathy, thank you so much for sharing as well. And thank you so much for those stars, everybody. Okay. For those of you that don't know where my Rumble is, and once y'all come over to Rumble, go ahead and like and follow. Deborah, thank you for the stars. I'm gonna go over to YouTube in just a second to see if anyone blessed me over there. But thank you so much for those stars as well. Go over if you can, go over to my Rumble and hold on 1 second. Wait a minute. Yeah, go over to my Rumble, because I got some stuff I want to share with y'all over there that I can't share here, okay? All right. Michael, thank you so much for sharing. Nancy, thank you so much for sharing. Let me see. How many shares do we have on Facebook here? There's total 98 shares on Facebook right now. Can we get 2 more? Can we get 2 more? 2 more shares? Bring it to 100? Maybe. All right, let me go over to YouTube real quick. All right, awesome. Nora, thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you so much for the super chat. And I'm going to see if anyone hit me up with a Rumble rant in just a second. Thank you so much for the super chat on YouTube, Nora. Thank you so much. Okay. All right. I think it's been good long enough. Jump over it. Come on, jump on over to Rumble. I'm telling you, I want to see this. Well, maybe you don't, because what I'm going to show you on Rumble is probably going to trigger you. It's probably going to trigger you. If you don't want to get triggered, don't jump. Other than that, God bless you. We'll see you. We'll see you on the other side. Okay. All right. I'm going to disconnect from YouTube and Facebook now. So go ahead and join me over there on Rumble.